Now, I've raised this issue about the pet sitting services before, potentially being a cover for adult services such as prostitution and things like that. And so there was two things that actually had happened with two different pet services. And what the first one pet sitter we used was this young gal, and she always had a guy with her. I mean, in fact, the first place we met her was at like a parking lot of a business, which that's what they're recommending for people to do. I was fine with that, and she should be paranoid of people, especially, yeah. And so anyway, then we decided to use her. But the thing is, she said that she realized that my dog wasn't eating after one or two of the times that I used her, and I wasn't that fond of her. And so she was feeding her dog, my dog's food, and then my dog wasn't even getting the food. So her dogs were eating up all the food because she fed them at the same time. And so she says, well, I don't know what to do. And I said, well, you have the cage. I mean, you could put the food in the cage or something like that, you know. I didn't really want to use her anymore. And so eventually she did quit, and so we had to get another pet sitter. But before I go on, though, her number about 3 months showed up on my husband's phone, which that was supposed to be for emergencies and travel. And he says, oh, I accidentally called her. But there was like 2 or 3 different times she was talking about in the area where we lived. So she was at least 20 miles away from us. And he's like, oh, I saw her and she's lost a whole lot of weight. And then I thought, oh, you know, he said she was in the area where we lived then. And so, I don't know. But then the other one, there was another lady that we got. I liked her. She was older. And so my husband had come in with me. And so the woman was saying that she said she had someone around, but typically, or he had to be gone or something. But there was this guy that was walking around out in the street. And so she was carrying on about her clients. And so my husband, he went and sat in the car while I talked to her in her backyard for a little bit. And she was telling me about how sometimes, I told her I was thinking about becoming a pet sitter. She says, well, some of the things you might want to keep in mind is people might bring their dogs to you and they're going to be in heat. And then she was kind of alluding to a lot of adult types of things that was surrounding with dogs and things like that. And she says, oh, a lot of my clients are willing to pay $100 per night. And I'm starting to think in the adult prostitution arena because of things that she's saying. I don't know if she was being silly or what, but it just kind of took me down that path with the things that she was saying.